Abuja Electricity faces 200 million naira fine over tariff violation and misapplication. Hoodlums attack worshippers during Tahajjud prayers in Niger State. Chaos as police try to disperse Shiites procession in Kaduna State. On the international scene, Sierra Leone leader declares drug abuse national emergency. Hello again and welcome to the news update on Trust Television. At this hour, I'm Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for joining us. Another news in full. The Nigerian Electricity Commission has slapped Abuja Electricity Distribution PLC with a hefty fine of 200 million naira for failing to adhere to its tariff guidelines, creating a stir among consumers and industry stakeholders alike. The fine comes in the wake of the supplementary order to the multi-year tariff order for 2024, issued on April 3, 2024, which AEDC has been found in violation of. In a detailed correspondence released by NERC, it was revealed that AEDC improperly applied an approved tariff increase across all customer bands, contrary to the specific directive that only customers in Band A were subject to the rate hike. The oversight has not only led to undue charges for customers in Bands B to E, but has also called into question the operational compliance and fairness standards maintained by one of the country's leading electricity distribution companies. The Northern Elders Forum has kicked against the recent decision by the President Bola Tinubu-led federal government to increase electricity tariff in the country. The forum described the tariff increase as a reckless move and a complete disregard for the well-being and welfare of the Nigerian people. In a statement by its spokesman, Abdullahi, the Northern Elders Forum noted that the drastic increase in electricity tariff will have a significant negative impact on the already struggling population, further exacerbating the gap between the rich and the poor. They called on the federal government to immediately reconsider what they referred to as ill-conceived decision and consider the dire economic situation faced by the majority of Nigerians. On other security matters, hoodlums in the early hours on Friday blocked Kota Road in Mina, the Niger state capital, and attacked people going for Tahajjud prayers. Residents of the area said the incident happened around 1 a.m. when they were coming out to offer Tahajjud prayers. One of the residents, Aliyu Isa, said hoodlums, armed with dangerous weapons, have been openly holding residents hostage in Mina for the past 5 days. According to him, they mostly operate in Pangungu, Soje, Angwandaji, Limawa, Ogbomosho, among others. The Niger State Police Command's Public Relations Officer, SP Wasiu Abiodun, said police are on top of the situation. More on security matters. Some unidentified gunmen have invaded Agojeju Odo community in Omala local government area of Kogi State, killing 19 people and setting many houses on fire. Confirming the incident on Friday, the police public relations officer in Kogi State, William Aya, said the yet-to-be-identified gunmen attacked the community on Thursday. Aya said that the Divisional Police Office of the local government informed him that 19 people were killed, while some sustained injuries in the attack. He stated that the Commissioner of Police in Kogi State, Bertrand Onuoha, has deployed more policemen to the communities, assuring that the perpetrators of the heinous act will be apprehended. The communities appealed to Kogi State Governor Usman Ododo and security agencies to come to their aid by deploying more security personnel to the area, as the police in the local government area have been overwhelmed and overpowered by the attackers. There is pandemonium at the Kaduna state capital as police operatives are trying to disperse members of the proscribed Islamic movement of Nigeria, popularly known as Shiites, who are holding a procession in the city center. This has created panic and fear among the residents, particularly those whose shops are located along the Ahmadu Bello Way. The IMN members had gathered along the Casino roundabout by Ahmadu Bello Way before the police arrived and tried to disperse them. This is not the first time that the IMN members are holding public procession despite their proscription by the federal government under former President Muhammadu Buhari. The police officers attached to the Ugali A division in Ugali North local government area of Delta State has reportedly brutalized two journalists attached to the office of the Chief Press Secretary to the Delta State Governor, Chief Festus Ahon. The incident occurred on Thursday at Ugali. According to the victims, a senior police officer, Ogu Chukwutem, supervised the humiliation of Comrade Andrew Unutame of the Galaxy Television and Comrade Ogenekaro Awodeha, publisher of the Periscope, with officers and vigilantes at the premises of Ugali A division. He said this is the second time policemen in Ugali are brutalizing journalists on official duty. We'll move on now to the Green Chambers. The House of Representatives has shifted the resumption date from its ongoing recess from April 16 to April 23. Clerk of the House of Representatives, Yahaya Danzaria, who announced this in a statement on Friday, said the adjustment was necessary to allow for the completion of renovations of the chamber of the House of Representatives to ensure its readiness for plenary sessions henceforth. The clerk, while calling for understanding and cooperation of the legislators, said all inconveniences are highly regretted. He urged members to make necessary adjustments to their schedules and ensure their presence on the new resumption date. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has stated that the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party has rejected the alleged amended list of caretaker committee members that has been circulating on social media and appeared in some national newspapers on Thursday. Governor Fubara, as quoted by his Chief Press Secretary Nelson Chukwudi, made this clarification after a meeting with the NWC at the PDP National Secretariat, Wadata Plaza, Abuja, on Thursday evening. The governor reiterated that the decisions made during a previous meeting between the NWC and Board of Trustees and the PDP Governors Forum in Abuja in March still stand. He further emphasized that the party stands that the executive officers whose tenures ended in March will continue in their respective roles until the NWC-approved 3-month extension period expires and new congresses are conducted. The Plateau State House of Assembly, Honorable Gabriel Speaker, Honorable Gabriel Dewan, has finally sworn in 9 out of the 16 members of the All Progressives Congress who were declared winners by the appeal court. The new lawmakers were declared winners after the Court of Appeal sacked the 16 PDP members on the grounds that their party was not qualified to sponsor candidates in the election. The Speaker had stated that he received a court directive not to swear in the affected members until a determination of the suit filed by sacked PDP lawmakers who challenged the appeal court's judgment. The Speaker swore in the 9 members at the Old Government House, where the House is temporarily conducting its legislative activities. No reason was given as to why the remaining 7 members were not sworn in by the House. The Kano state government has filed criminal charges against the immediate past governor, Abdullahi Gandu over alleged $413,000, 1.38 billion naira bribery. The state said it had assembled 15 witnesses to testify against Gandu, joined as co-defendants in the charge sheet dated April 3, 2024, cited were Gandu's wife Hafsat and his son Umar. Also listed as defendants were Jabrila Muhammad, Lamash Properties Limited, Safari Textiles Limited, and Lesage General Enterprises. Governor Abba Yusuf had, on assumption of office, accused Gandu of misappropriating public funds and allocating plots of lands to some members of his immediate family. Popular cross-dresser Idris Olarinwaju Okuneye, also known as Bobrisky, has arrived at the Federal High Court in Lagos for his arraignment. Bobrisky was brought into the court in a white bus at 9:12 a.m. by officials of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Trial Judge Justice Abimbola Awogboro is presiding over other cases, and Bobrisky's case is listed as number 10 on the court's list. Bobrisky, who was arrested by the EFCC on Wednesday, is facing a 6-count charge of naira abuse and alleged money laundering. This is a news update on Trust Television, coming up after the break. Tailors decry poor power supply as pressure mounts to deliver new clothes for Eid al-Fitr celebrations. More news when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. Let's take a look at our top stories again. Abuja Electricity faces 200 million naira fine over tariff violation and misapplication. Hoodlums attack worshippers during Tahajjud prayers in Niger State. The governor of Taraba State, Agbu Kefas, has directed the immediate assessment of households affected by the windstorm that wreaked havoc in Takum local government area of the state. This follows the governor's visit to the affected communities to assess the level of destruction. The report.
What used to be people's homes and markets have now turned structures without roofs. Businesses, worship centers, and schools are also not spared by the once friendly visitor who turned unfriendly as residents watch helplessly following a windstorm which lasted for hours. Some residents blame the incident on deforestation, lamenting that some individuals have cut down the surrounding forest, which serves as windbreakers for their selfish reasons. The governor, alongside his team, is here for first-hand information and to sympathize with affected residents over the unfortunate incident. At the end of the visit, the majority leader of the State Assembly and the traditional ruler of the area commended the efforts of the governor to assist victims.
Well, if you look at it carefully, you will discover that most of the destruction affected the zinc of the roof. So we expect that this government will support them with some building materials in order to fix their houses, so that with this rain, they will not sleep outside.
In June last year, the governor signed an executive order suspending all mining activities in Taraba and subsequently banned all forms of tree falling in a bid to end a looming disaster associating with soil degradation. It is expected that the Task Force Committee on Deforestation and Illegal Mining, as well as stakeholders, will have a change of strategy in curtailing further effects of climate.
Wearing new clothes is one of the rituals of Eid in Islam. As such, Muslims in different parts of the world buy new dresses to observe the festival according to the teachings of Islam. During such festivities, Nigerian tailors work under immense pressure to meet the high demands of customers. With less than a week to the 2024 Eid al-Fitr, Trust TV examines how tailors work amidst infrastructural challenges as they struggle to meet customers' deadlines in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail has details of this story.
Tailors at the popular Wuse market in Abuja are busy trying to meet the deadlines amidst mounting pressure from customers ahead of the 2024 Eid al-Fitr celebration. The pressure on them is compounded by the epileptic power supply, which is crucial to their work in the country. Made up of tailors and textile retailers, these entrepreneurs battle with high running costs due to the lingering energy crisis in the country.
It affects us very well. It affects us. Now they say they have increased tariff. Without light, we cannot work. And not even the light that we are telling now is light we are using to work. No light to work. And they say they have increased it now.
So government should look into it. Daily we spend 8,000. We might make 10,000, then spend 8,000 of fuel. Our profit might be 2,000. Can 2,000 sustain us? So this is one of the key factors that the government should look into.
They say there is a decline in the number of customers this period due to the poor economy. Hence, the workload is moderate. Meanwhile, the inability of some tailors to deliver on time has been linked to clients' failure to bring their jobs on time.
And another thing is, some of the customers too, they will just drop the material with you, and then you are looking at least 50 or 60% of deposit to enable you deliver or buy material to deliver. You will not see the customer until the day of collection. So you will find out that the tailor was not in position to finance the job and deliver at time. So in that situation, you'll find disappointment. To start the fasting is another issue in the family. So the patronage from the tailor angle is very low. I don't know whether that is why, because we don't have too much challenges this time around. Because as we rightly know, we have just few days to the Salah.
Be that as it may, thousands of customers who were able to afford new clothes are eagerly waiting for their tailors to fulfill their obligations ahead of the Eid festival next week. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The Edo Refinery has received a total of 15,000 barrels of crude oil in 2024 for production from the Oza oil field operated by Dekla Resources Incorporation on its co-venturer, Millennium Oil and Gas Company Limited. The Chief Executive Officer of Dekla Resources, Sami Famoide, who disclosed this in a statement, noted that the company has continued ongoing crude oil injection volumes into the Trans-Niger pipeline for transport, tow and export from the Bonny Export Terminal. The refinery was developed by the Edo Refinery and Petrochemical Company Limited and was facilitated through a memorandum of understanding between the Governor Godwin Obaseki-led state government and AIPCC. It is a 6,000 BPD capacity plant, which has been expanded to 21,000 BPD. The facility with its feedstock can produce 500,000 litres of diesel, 300,000 litres of naphtha, and 200,000 litres of low-poor fuel oil. Away from Nigeria, Sierra Leone's President Julius M Bio has described drug abuse in the country as a national emergency. He outlined plans to combat a synthetic drug popular with young people. According to him, a task force, including government agencies and NGOs, would be responsible for prevention, treatment, social services support, law enforcement, and community engagement. Bio also said his government was working to take down drug trafficking networks. Still on the foreign scene, the head of Niger's military government on Thursday ordered the dissolution of all local councils and put an army officer in charge of the capital, General Abdurrahman Tichani, who ousted the African nation's elected president in a coup last July, signed an order for the dismantling of municipal and regional councils that were last elected in 2020. A second decree reported by state radio named military, police and public officials who will be put in charge of local authorities. The mayor of the capital, Niamey, Umaru Dogari, has been replaced by an army colonel. The military took over the country last year as it confronted a mounting jihadist threat. And lastly, in sports news, Nigeria's Super Falcons will lock horns with their South African counterparts, Banyana at the Abdullahi National Stadium in Abuja on Friday for the first leg of the final qualifying playoff of the 2024 Paris Olympic Women's Football Tournament. Both countries with stellar talents in the women's game are arguably among the best in the world at the moment. Therefore, it is a battle between two of the best national female sides on the African continent. While the South Africans are the reigning African champions, Super Falcons dominated women's football for most of the last 4 decades, winning 9 of 11 African champions and appearing at every edition of the World Cup. To underscore their seriousness about giving the Super Falcons a good fight for the ticket, the delegation of Banyana for the encounter arrived in Abuja on Sunday and have been training for the big match since that day. The return leg will take place at the Loftus Versfield Stadium in Pretoria on Tuesday evening. Still in sports, Liverpool has returned to the summit of English Premiership after beating Sheffield United by 3-1 at Anfield Thursday night. Darwin Núñez had given the Reds a bright start with an early opener, but the advantage was cancelled out by Kano Bradley's own goal in the second half. But Mark Allister eased the nerves around Anfield, scoring the badly needed second goal with a brilliant finish from the edge of the area before Cody Gakpo firmly sealed the points in the closing moments. Aside from extending their unbeaten run in home league matches to 28 games, the Reds are now closer to being crowned English champions for a record equaling 20th time and first since 2020. And that concludes the news update at this hour. But remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live streams on the news, programs and documentary. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for your time. Stay with us.